Hello, everybody. This is lesson 6 in statistics, and we are now going to be looking at inverse norm. So previously on our calculator, the last lesson, we were getting a z-score and calculating a probability or a percentage from the z-score on the graph. Okay. Now, some problems here are going to give us percentages, and we're going to have to work backward and figure out the data values or the z-scores from that. Okay, so it's kind of like we learned to multiply first, and then we learned to divide. Here, we're learning how to find probability and percentages first, and now we're going to learn how to start with those and go back to solve for the original data values. Okay, so let's first look at calculating a data value given area to the left. Okay, so if you're given area or probability under a curve, you can use what's called the inverse norm command on your calculator to calculate what data point that is at. Okay, this is really important. The mean and the standard deviation must be given. If we do not know the mean and the standard deviation, we cannot do this. So here's an example of this. This question, it gives us this curve. Okay, we know it's normally distributed. The mean is 0. The standard deviation is 1, because that's the distance from 0 to the first point. Okay, but unlike before, we don't know what this line is. Okay, we know the area underneath the curve is 89.07, but we do not know what value this is. And that's what we're looking for. So we need to know the area, the mean, and the standard deviation. So we already said the mean is 0, the standard deviation is 1. Now the area here is 89.07%, but it's in percent form. We want it in decimal form, so we're going to divide by 100 to get 0.8907 to give us our area. Once we have those three things, we can go in and calculate this. Okay, we're going to find inverse norm. I didn't put all the button functions because it's the exact same. We're going second and DISTR, so second vars. And we're going to notice that before we were going to normal CDF, but we're going one lower to inverse norm. Okay, we're going to hit enter. Now we've got area, and it was 0.8907. Okay, we've got our mean, we've got our standard deviation. We hit paste, and we hit enter. And now it tells us this data point is 1.2302, so it is at 1.23. Okay, and that makes sense because it is above the 1, below the 2, and it looks like it's below the 1.5 mark. Okay, so that is how we use a calculator to take a percentage or a probability and figure out what data point correlates with it. So in the next videos, I'm going to go through some more examples.